Welcome to TVOA TVM Podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us that goes by the name of Miss Nikki Samonas. She is an actor and model from Ghana and a Ghanaian media personality in general. Hello, Miss Nikki. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me. I'm good.
Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood growing up?
Well, as the girl, and well, I would say I had kind of a great childhood until I think I was 10 years old, and my father died. I wasn't told though.
Wow.
She didn't tell me until I think I was in 14 or 15 years, when I had persistently asked, "Where is my father?" continuously for years, before she eventually told me that, oh, when I told you that he traveled, apparently he did travel, but he never came back. So probably before that, I think I had seen drastic changes because, of course, he was no longer around, so a lot of things had changed. So I had started asking questions. So for most people, there is a cliche. I don't know if it's all around Africa, but let me limit it to Ghana. It's a cliche that mixed race kids or children have it easy, or are coming from good homes, etc., but not me. So childhood, I went through quite a lot for a child. I had to learn how to be responsible as early as possible, because who am I turning to? And I think I still do quite well.
Right, that's very interesting. So I'm assuming you did not really grow up with your dad, before you.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so he was. I know you're Greece. So was he? Did he?
Yes, he was a Greek. Yes,
Okay.
he was a Greek. And my mom was Ghanaian, or is Ghanaian.
Okay, that's really interesting. So are there any moments, from your childhood that you think was an important memory of, self-discovery?
That was, I would call it now. Then, but now is senior high, and I had wanted to study a course. I think I wanted to do law and arts.
Wow.
And yes, I trust me, you have. I never felt I would end up in the entertainment industry. I wanted to do the law. I was Greek, so I wanted to do philosophy, the arts, poetry, languages. And if I can pull through, probably actually become a lawyer one day if I decide to do it seriously. I mean, these were the areas I was looking at. But my headmistress said, but you're Greek. Why do you want to do these ones? There's also this. There's also the arts. There's also the expression of general artistry. Why don't you try this? I mean, sports. Look at you. You're tall. You're slim. You're energetic. I said. So she said, self-discovery, like you're saying. She said, okay, let's do this. Why don't you try this? Consider me as an advisor, as someone who sees into the future. We even laughed when she said that. And do this type of arts. If after your first year you don't sail through, I will personally push you to where you want to be.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So I said, fine.
I'll take it.
She was right. Yeah. I mean, it was a deal. I mean, my mom was there. The assistant headmistress was there. So I said, fine. It was a deal. And she was right. I sailed through. I studied the arts, graphic designing. I did a little bit of sports. I majored in the arts, and I was taking prizes, speech and prize giving day. I mean, I was that good. I was even the class prefect. I was the deputy sports prefect too. So she said, after every end of year, and then there's a speech and prize giving day, and I win an award. She's like,
I told you. Yeah.
And I walked past her and she's like, I told you. So that was one moment of self-discovery, because I didn't think that I could actually excel in that field. I didn't see myself doing that at all. I felt I could do better with languages. I was infatuated with French, Spanish, even Greek. I felt that because I didn't go out with my dad, maybe I should connect a bit more. So I was tailing around that side. And then she said, no, I don't see that in you. Yeah, you can do it, but I think you do better here. And that was a major self-discovery for myself.
Wow, that's very interesting. And you mentioned that you trying to delve into different cultures. Why and how have you felt a stronger pull towards Ghanaian and African media outlets? And can you describe the importance of trying to empower our media?
Okay, so there are 3 questions in one sentence. Let's start with the first one again. What did you say?
So yeah, can you describe why you have felt a stronger pull towards Ghanaian and African media outlets, even after delving into those cultures? Like you mentioned, you studied Greek a little bit, Spanish, French. Yeah.
Well, whether I like it or not, I find myself in Africa.
Right.
And if in as much as I want to connect to my, let's say, to my other half, I mean, I'm a mixed breed, so let's say in as much as I wanted to connect to my father's side or to the diasporan side of my lineage, I still am African of some sort, and I'm still living in Africa, precisely West Africa. So why don't I make use of it? And again, I also find myself in the entertainment industry, which happens to be one of the major industries where you can actually be versatile in exploring yourself and impacting whatever you're exploring in your country to other countries or to the rest of the world. So where the stronger pull comes in is whether I like it or not, I'm here. And there's a saying that goes like, when you're in Rome, you do what the Romans do. Right. Plus, I happen to be half Black as well. My mom is Ghanaian. So even if I didn't want to, I'm just saying, I am here. Right. So make use of it. So I didn't want to lose of my African roots.
Right.
So if you ask me, I can rattle the Chi, which is the major Ghanaian language internationally. I can rattle it like I'm speaking English. So I told myself if I couldn't learn much of my father's language, I should be able, since I am rooted here, to be able to know enough of my African lineage when it comes to language, tradition, values, norms. I should, and I do, and I'm proud to say I do. So the stronger pull, I found myself with that stronger pull with my African lineage there, and surprisingly, it worked because, I mean, how many half-caste people again, or mixed race people would you see speaking or behaving locally? You'd barely see that. And when I come on TV or I'm working on any media project, and I always fuse in that part of my life, the Ghanaian side, into whatever I do, and it blows everyone away. Everybody's astonished. She can speak Tree. Wow, look at her hair. She has curly hair. She's even dyed the hair is blonde. How's she doing this? Wow, I like this girl. Yeah, I like to see people like this speak the local language in Ghana, South Africa. Yeah. So I think for some reason it's worked for me. Of course, the juxtaposition of my color and the fact that I'm so Black. Yes. Yeah. That's how it is.
I feel like you're kind of like an anomaly, like you said before, because most people would see you and expect this like snobbish little, light-skinned girl walking around, but you start talking.
Exactly. Exactly.
People away. Can you describe your journey into becoming a household name in Ghana? I was watching one of your interviews and I heard you met a guy who like brought you to Chinese music video and like took you to different events and stuff like that.
Right. I think it was, I always give him the pros for this. I call Daniel. He saw this again, just like my headmistress in junior high, Holy Child School on Cape Coast. May he so rest in peace. She said, Mrs. Sergeant. So did Echo Daniel. He said, Nikki, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Come. I'm gonna put you in this music video. I said, which music video? And at that time, I think Tiny was the, or one of the it's popping in the music industry. He said, I've got 2 things for you. I'm going to put you in a music industry video and I'm going to put you in an advert. Okay, fine, let's do this. That's what I said. So he drives me all the way to Accra. I mean, a suburb of Accra in Tema. He drives me all the way to main Accra, and then he takes me to there. There she is. So apparently, it looked like he had already spoken to them about me. So he just pops out with me, and then there she is. Go ahead. So I'm a novice because I have no idea about music videos. I do have ideas about, adverts, movies, etc. Music videos? No way. I don't even know how it's done. So, okay, come. They put me there, put me on makeup. Your hair is naturally nice. You already look like an old, just, and then they put me in this car. Pretend as if you're dancing, and so I do all that, and from there he takes me to an agency, registers me there, and I end up being picked up for an advert.
Oh.
So yes, it just happened like that.
Yeah.
And that was my first experience. And I think the company loved me so much that they actually they had me on with a contract for 2 years.
Okay.
Yes, for 2 years. So I was more of juggling between work and school. I was in a University of Science and Technology in Kumasi, KNUST. So I'll come to Accra, shoot my bits, go back to school. Come to Accra, shoot my bits, go back to school. And it's actually, at that time, it was about 6-hour drive.
Jeez.
From Kumasi to Accra. So you can imagine. And if I get lucky and I have some money, or if I get lucky and they really need me impromptu, at that time, I think the interstate airlines I just started. So they just put me in a plane and I come. But that's how it was. That's how I started this whole experience. And that same year, he again hooked me up to a TV series called LNG, which is Ladies and Gentlemen. So it was just, I don't know. It was just, I'll say divine intervention, or it's just fate. I have no idea. Destiny? I don't know. Yeah.
So, apart from being, an actor and a model, you're also an entrepreneur. Can you explain what influenced you to start Gamma Inc.?
Oh, wow. Well, I think I started with the fact that I had both knowledge or education about productions. Yes. So I studied TV production in KNUST. I majored in editing, animation, and I also have the best knowledge about being in front of a camera. So my friends, my mom, family, everybody said, you have the best of both worlds. So why don't you do something about it? Open up something so you can do something yourself. You have knowledge about both of them. So I said, fine. And that's how Gamma Inc. popped up.
Wow, that's huge. I commend you for
yes, that. And that's
are there any misconstruals about acting or being in the media in Ghana that should be better acknowledged by the public?
Any people say that the movie industry is dying in Ghana, but I wouldn't say it's dying. I'm just saying that we are restructuring because of the invention of the internet, and we were used to the manual way of marketing our products, which is the movies and or ads, whatever it is. And eventually the internet came and took over, or the digital world came and took over everything when it comes to the industry. So what the problem we had was now restructuring and getting ourselves on that pedestal. And that's what slowed the whole industry down, which is normal. I mean, if you're used to something naturally, if you're used to something and there are changes, now you have to adjust, restructure everything and get on board. So it kind of slowed the industry down. Investors also slowed down because they now also want to know how you're going to convince them to get their money back if they give it to you because of the new structure. So people felt that it's gone, it's dead. But apparently we're just restructuring. And as you can see, I mean, it took quite a while, quite a while, a long while. But things are better now. There are movies coming up, good movies are coming up, good productions are coming up, good ads, good documentaries. I mean, you're here in Ghana, which you said yourself, Ghana is out there now. People know what's happening when it comes to Ghanaian movies.
Exactly.
So that misconception it should stop.
Stop it.
Yes, it's to stop.
So what do you feel is the best and worst quality of being a famous actress?
Ooh. The best is being recognized, being identified as someone who actually portrays African lifestyle, let me say, or Africa as a whole to the world via TV. And since the media happens to be the most lucrative industry that carries information out there in a jiffy, you're noticed every now and then everywhere you go. So it's being noticed and being appreciated. Oh, I saw you in this movie. You did this. You did that. Is that what happens in Africa? You do this. You do this. Oh, nice. Oh, so you guys also. Oh, you guys also grind stuff in that. Yes, but you also use blenders. I mean, the other one is they actually think that we still live in trees. So all those things, all these things, people get to know what's really happening, and that is one of the good things, of course. One other good thing is also being recognized for your craft and your talent. And if you're good, everybody sees you and say, "Oh," it's just like an engineer who's doing his work well, and everybody comments on an engineer for doing work well. Just like a doctor who's doing work well. So it boils down to everywhere. And when you're recognized for your talent or for your hard work, oh, you have no idea how much it makes me feel. Then
the bad part.
There
was a lot more.
But let me add one more good thing. I like the fact that when people see your work and they actually what's the right word to use? They actually compare it to your personal life, and they find out, or when they dig in, I mean, I actually dug in. I mean, the questions you're asking, I didn't think you actually know. They feel that they want to partner with you. And for me personally, one thing that I love most, one of the best things I love, is when UNHCR called me and asked me to be an influencer for the Luku tribe. It was an honor. So that means that they did realize that I love humanity, and they did realize that I have a lot of love for what's going on around the world, and the fact that I appreciate everyone, no matter where you're coming from, because I happen to be as a refugee, as a UNHCR for refugees, and for me, it's one of the biggest heights of my career, one of the best things, to be an advocate for humanity, especially refugees. Great. Now, the other downside, generally misconception. When you're out there on TV, everybody thinks that you live a certain life. Everybody thinks that you should be like this, because there is a stereotype that has been stained on all of us, that we should live a certain life, we should be a certain way, move a certain way, talk a certain way, and it affects us a lot because it puts a lot of pressure on most of us on how to, excuse me to say, please our fans or please the world because of how they see us. And I really don't care about those things. I live my life as it is, but that has become a downside for us. So most of us are pressured, and we've tried so much in so many ways to let the world know that how Mr. A lives his life is different from how Mr. B lives his life, because everybody has their own ways and means and values that they use, principles that they use to live in their life. But it's kind of hard because it's different in every country. In the United States, it's different. In Nigeria, it's different. In South Africa, it's different. In India, you can imagine it's different. So we definitely have to probably do a lot more by telling people that in every country it's different, and every entertainment industry is different. That's one downside. The other downside was, which we are recovering from again, was which it affected the whole industry when internet took over the world, and we had to restructure the whole industry to move in with the digital world. That was hard. That was really, really hard for all of us, and affected all of us, slowed a lot of things down, and it really affected a lot of us. And then the other thing is uh, uh, the pressures from our fans. It's unbelievable. Wow, it's unbelievable. Some of them are relentless, and if you don't have the heart, you cannot. Yes, as a famous person, let me put it that way. If you don't have the heart, it's difficult for you. So it's one of the downside, because if you do it this way, somebody will talk. If you do it that way, somebody will talk.
Exactly.
If I mean, whichever way you do it, somebody will talk.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just have to find the balance in between, and make sure you don't make someone unhappy or someone sad, because it's kind of being a relationship. We live for them, they live for us. It's reciprocal. So I think yeah, criticism is one of the things we live by, but we cannot do anything about it because you're in the limelight. That's the last point I'll touch on the downside. It's not easy when the media again comes at you, or people come at you, and now you have to explain yourself every now and then. They may not understand you, but that's what it is, because that's what's circulating in the media. And every now and then you have to prove yourself, and you're wondering if you should talk about it or not, or if you just let it slide. That's not easy at all.
Yeah, and it's really sad too, because people tend to pay attention more to the negative than the positives. So
Exactly.
Something bad that's going to circulate much more than your.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We want to focus on the positives today. Can you?
Oh hell yes.
Can you describe of being chosen to host the Women's Choice Awards last year, and being?
Oh wow. Wow. Uh, wow. I was surprised. I was elated. I was surprised. No. I was surprised. I couldn't believe it. When I got the call, I was screaming on the phone. I mean, after I finished speaking, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That was my excitement. So I called my brother, who happens to be my manager. And my older brother happens to be my manager. And I told him, hey, in my local language, hey, apostle, me be your host, be your host. Yes, in the hosting, Miss French, I was Charlie. So my first reaction was this.
Yeah.
Surprise, excitement, unbelievable. And as days went by, I think I started going into the role, speaking to them, updates every now and then. I started doing a lot. I mean, I didn't know, but again, like I said, because the industry has slowed down, I felt, I don't know about anyone, but for me, I felt that I had become a bit rusty. So I went back for inspirations on the internet. A lot of stars from all around the world, people who inspire me with this kind of job hosting. I did go through the VMAs, which is the States. Of course, I did go through the Oscars, and I wouldn't. And then I went through the Ballon d'Or, how it's done, because that's sports related. And then I chose one or two individuals who are naturally hosts in the industry all around the world. I did go for one girl in South Africa who is very good, Bonang. I'm sure you know Bonang.
We're actually doing
right. I like his style of hosting, and so I did a lot of research with these things, and then I upped my game. I went on there, I slayed, and I did it.
That's huge. So how do you're pretty famous, or really famously, let me put that. How do you intend to use your position of power and leadership to influence the younger generation?
Well, after the Women's Choice Award, I was called for two other major events, which I never expected. I'm going to use that to answer your question. So how do I do that? There was the Glitz Africa fashion night. Yes, Glitz Africa fashion night, which also tailors African designers.
That's huge.
Basically all around. Yes, all around Africa. And I think I hosted it with Mai Atafu, who also happens to be one great big designer in Nigeria, who actually happens to be on Beyonce's fashion website, Mai Atafu. So I did this with him, and one of the things I used to empower people all around the world is, as I was hosting, I did mention the fact that we should be kind to one another, especially refugees. I did that, and I am always talking about I mean, I wouldn't say that makes me a feminist, but women empowerment. You know, if you compare women in Africa to women in the diaspora, you could tell a huge difference when it comes to women empowerment. So I try as much as possible to do that. Then I also always encourage women to be confident. After that, I was also called to host Afrochella in December, which was huge. What? Afrochella? Okay. So in the same way, I with Afrochella, that's more music inclined. I mean, if you look at the job descriptions, Movement Towards Africa is different, totally different. Glitz Africa fashion, that's all about fashion, equally different. And then Afrochella is all music, relatively different as well. So with that, it was all fun. It was for me. What I remember I told them who were watching is always to be inclined to themselves for the other youth, and then always make sure that they work towards their dreams and their goals. And there is no way you cannot do that without working hard. Oh, and then there was the walk of. Okay, I'm gonna say that one. I want to do that.
Yeah, say it.
Well, every year the Lucky Tribe in UNHCR we walk all around the world. So it happens in Kenya, happens in Ghana as well. They do one in South Africa, you know, all around Africa as well, because the Lucky Tribe is tailored around Africa, to African refugees, and that was also huge. So again, I was able to use my status to encourage the world about the fact that all we need is love and to be kind to one another. I mean, Chadwick Boseman just died, and who knew he was battling cancer? See, who knew he was battling cancer? Nobody knew. All you have to do is just be kind to one another. It doesn't always involve finances, but we always have to try as much as possible to be there for someone, one way or the other, and stop the criticisms. If you're not happy about something, don't talk. There's a Ghanaian saying that says, "If I'll say it in English, the literal translation in English, because if I say it in Twi, most people wouldn't get it, but." It basically means that if you don't like it, don't say it, or don't spoil it, or don't say you don't like it. If you don't like it, but if you do like it, encourage. Yes, encourage. Advance with encouragement to it. So that's what I do, and on my personal pages as well, with my social media pages, I do well to tell people to appreciate life. For me, it's all about appreciating life. Again, one empowerment. 2, 3, be happy. You're your youth. Work on your dreams. Strive harder, because it's going to be harder as the years go by. And that's basically what I do. Be happy regardless. Be happy. They always say, "Nikki, you're always happy." I said, yes. Use Chad Boseman as an example. He was always smiling, but you never know.
No, exactly. So how do you hope, women empowerment involves in our social culture in Africa? Because I know that's a very huge thing.
Oh, yes. It's I think it's just social norms, one, tradition and values, and it's inbred in us. Even people would say, even after colonialism, it was still inbred in us. It was part of our culture, and women are stereotyped as the submissive ones, and then the men as the powerhouses. with evolution and revolution, and again with internet, digital world, internet. I think that let me relate it, sorry, to Ghana because I am here. I don't know what's happening in other African countries, so let me relate it to here. Education as insights for education with the help of internet now has, I think it's gradually, it's slow, but it's way better than 5 years ago. I don't even go to the last decade, even just 5 years ago. A lot of things, a lot of women have become more confident. Education is now not, it's only tailored to schools. No, you can actually get education, you see, via your phone, the internet, or laptop. So first you have access to the internet and telecommunication network, and as now are giving us data on the phone. So a lot of women have been educated. The eyes are now opened as to what we can do with or without anyone. Let me not relate it to a man. With or without anyone, with or without a man, with or without your friend, yourself, and tell yourself that I'm a woman. Yeah, I can do this, even though they've made me feel, or traditional culture has made me feel that I'm not adequate or I cannot do it. And we've also, I'll use myself an example. I've also found out that I can do stuff as the men can do, but in subtle ways. You get it? We can do stuff. I mean, they say a man can do what a woman can do. Yes, but we can do it in subtle ways. Example, I can lift a whole ton of okay, let me say, I can lift a whole car tire, but a man can lift a car tire. But I can scoot it to the side, which is a subtle way. You get what I mean? But a man can lift the whole tire. You get what I mean? So just to be liberal here, I don't want to relate it to other things, and then people will come and say that, Nikki, we don't understand your example.
You can name bloggers.
So I can, you know, so I can scoot a tire to the side with a little strength, but a man can actually lift the whole tire.
Right.
So we can do stuff, but in subtle ways, which is understandable, which is good, which is a massive improvement. So Ghanaian women have been opened to these subtle information and knowledge about the fact that we are not limited to a certain lifestyle now, and that you can explore. And so far as you explore enough, you can, if you put your mind to it, attain whatever it is that you want to do.
Right, that's huge.
I hope I've explained it to the simplest to the simplest way possible.
It really made a lot of sense, and I hope a lot of girls are watching this and will be able to learn from what you're saying as well. Because I do feel like that tradition has to be broken, and people like you come on and talk about it. It's really not going through. So I really appreciate you touching on that subject. On the real though, again, everyone is different. You're good at and what you believe in, and there's a saying that says that what you believe in works for you. If you feel that you're a woman in its sense, phenomenal in this sense, and you believe in your culture, you see, you believe in your values, in your tradition, and you follow suit, and it fits for you and it makes you happy, yes, go ahead. If you feel that you want to explore, you don't want to be boxed in with tradition, culture, and values, pursue it. So it all depends on you as a woman. Right.
It all depends on you.
Your personal preferences, I think.
Yes.
So how do you hope to see the future of Ghanaian cinema?
Oh, great. We have about 3 cinemas now. Yay! I mean, major. I mean, they are minor when I say major cinemas now, which is good because, again, when the influx of the internet infiltrated my country, I related to Ghana again, it was extremely difficult for us. We had several best cinemas and they were struggling. But then Global Media Cinemas opened. SIT opened. What's this other one? There was a third one, I can't remember the name, also opened. And it was spat across Accra. 2 cinemas in Kumasi also opened, which was good. And then they dedicated one cinema or one movie range all the way in the north for movies, which is good. So, hey, wow, this is really good. So Ghana cinema is getting there. It's really getting there. Coronavirus can slow it down, but I'm sure that with time will pick up because it was booming. It was really booming. We were getting used to the fact that you can actually interact with your stars, your favorite stars, because they'll come and watch the movie. They'll be there for the premiere, and you can interact, take pictures and stuff, which was hardly done. If you see us either you see us on the streets or you see us at an event before you can get to interact with us. But the cinemas were there, and they are all across the nation, and it's booming. Coronavirus, leave so we can go back to that life because we love it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I'm actually hopeful that more will be opened. Yes, more will be opened. Yes, more will be open, and I know that the patronage would actually increase as well because Ghanaians have come to love their movies.
So how can the Voice of Africa, support your causes?
Wow. Wow. Isn't that a personal question? Well, obviously projects that I embark on, now that I know that you'd like to support, good. Uh, Obviously I'll be liaising with you and major projects which having movies, of course, with my humanitarian job at the UNHCR, of course, and any other personal projects, of course, I'm going to let you guys in on it.
Sure.
Fingers crossed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it of the fact that you want to support. Thank you so much. I will message you every now and then, call you every now and then, text you now and then if there's anything going on. I think that Voice of Africa deserves to be a part of, which would eventually carry the name of Ghana out there because that's what we want to do. Definitely calling you on.
Sure. And the last question I have for you, Ms. Nikki, is do you have any advice for anyone following in your footsteps?
Ooh, man. I always dread this question. I'm telling you, I always dread this question because I feel the reason why I say that is because I feel that everybody's experience is different.
Yeah.
And so I don't know whether to advise per my experience or give a general advice, So I always dread this question. But if you're following my suit and you feel that you belong, or by fate or by destiny, you belong to this path, work hard, do everything you can to stay on the path. One, be stubborn because you're going to be rejected every now and then when you go for castings and or auditions. Go again and go again. In fact, bother them. I mean, let them before. What is girl cry? Why? Okay. Then that's when. Okay. Give her this role. Okay. Let's cast it. Okay. Fine. Let's put her here. Because the more you frustrate someone, it's two things. It's either they run away from you, or they eventually fall in.
Yeah.
Yes, and you have a few running away from you, especially when it comes to companies, because it's a company. If it's a personal relationship, then maybe I can put my phone off or block you off my phone, but you can't do that with institutions. Yeah. So bother them, be stubborn, be resilient, because this industry is huge, but it's choked. Yes, it's huge, but it's choked. To believe in your talent, work on the talent, because it's the talent that sells you. It is the talent. I know a few people who have done 2 or 3 movies, but their talent, they see it and they go like, oh, you get where I'm coming from. So if you believe you're a good doctor, learn more, and be good at it. People will tell people, this doctor is good, this doctor is good. So if you feel that you're a good musician, if you feel that you're a good host, if you feel that you're a good model, if you feel that you're a good rapper, did I miss anything?
Singer? Is that the same thing?
Singer, yes, singer. There's nothing like being okay. There's always learning more and more and more. So one, be resilient, be stubborn. Don't take no as an answer. Persevere, develop that talent every now and then. I, for one, advise I'm watching movies every day, whether I like it or not, because again, everybody's talent is different. The way I eat my food is different from how you eat your food. So if I want to eat my food like the way you do, of course I have to watch you how you eat your food so I can mimic how you eat your food. And in order to do so, I have to watch you, I have to watch him, I have to watch him, I have to watch him. So I'm constantly watching movies. I also try as much as possible to watch reality TV. People think it's not right, but you see, in reality TV shows, they're themselves. Mm-hmm. There may be a script here and there, but they're still themselves and they're doing it themselves. They are not being directed to do it the way the director wants them to do it. So that way, to actually learn how human beings naturally behave in a confined area. So you can pick one or two things. I'm talking from a movie point of view. If you're a host, like I said earlier, go out there, look at a lot of different shows that has a lot of different hosts. You're literally always learning.
Right.
That's advice. Literally always learning. And believe in yourself. There's nothing like no. Give them pressure. Pressure.
Yeah, pretty much. I do have one more question I totally forgot. I was watching one of your interviews. I think this is a huge misconception that, Ghanaians have, and that's with the lighter skin gets treated better. I remember you talking about one of your roles that, you got turned down for having light skin. So if you could touch on that for a little bit.
If you think that you're lighter skin, so you have things easy, it's not so. Again, even earlier, I said people think that if you're light skinned, they think you're coming from a rich home or you're coming from a great home. It's not so. Everybody's experience or lifestyle is different. And in the industry, there are certain things that you may fall in, and there's some things that you don't fall in. So if there's a movie that has to do with only Black people, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't have it. If it's a movie that has everything to do with mixed color of people, then you can get it. It's the same thing with casting. If they think they're looking for a soldier and you do not fit the cast of being a soldier, or so whoever wrote the script and the director, obviously they will go for the one who deems fit for that role. So yes, in as much as you push and persevere and you take no for an answer, there is just the fact that you can't do everything. Yes, because you were not made for everything. That's why there are other people fit into certain classes, other people fit into certain roles. So with me, that was the experience I had. There was a movie and I felt that I should audition for a role, but apparently the movie was written in such that they needed only dark-skinned people to be able to tell the story better, and that's great. Get it? And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There are other movies where they needed only Asian people because maybe, let's say, it's based on the Asian tradition or in the 1800s of the Asian people. So what is a Black person going to do in it?
Exactly.
Exactly. So if people again think that we get it easy, no, we don't get it easy. You can't put a square peg in a round hole. Did I say it right? Square peg in it.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, that's how it is. Certain things are just how it is. You can't do anything about it. You just have to accept it and then hope for the best. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Nikki, for hopping on our platform. This is a really insightful conversation we had with you, and hopefully.
Thank you too.